space. It's filled with marvelous wonders. It's the final frontier, filled with many undiscovered countries. But you know what else the space is filled of? Unspeakable terror!
Hello, it's your Commodore, Ty Coles here. Happy Halloween, everyone. To celebrate, I'm going to count down the top 10 terrifying and creepy and scary episodes of Star Trek. So, to get started,
Honorable mention.
our honorable mention is the original series, Season 2, Episode 7, Cat's Paw. Yes, it's only an honorable mention because it hasn't aged well. It's not that scary. But you gotta remember the time it was made. It was made in 1967. And they do have some very scary things, like the setting with the skeleton.
You all right? Yes. I am undamaged, Captain.
Fog, the witches. The disenchanted voice coming out of a dead crew member.
The man is dead. Captain Kirk, can you hear me? There is a curse on your ship.
It would scare any kid watching it back then. Now, not so much. I couldn't put it on the list just because it didn't really age well.
Number 10.
Star Trek Voyager, Season 4, Episode 25, 1. This is the one where 7 of 9 must take control of the ship all by herself. Well, she does have the doctor. She has to take command of the ship because there's a radioactive nebula that forces all the other crew members that they have to go into stasis chambers to survive.
To design these things like coffins. Should we replicate you a teddy bear? Sleep tight.
It shows you how crazed isolation can be on a person's psyche.
I am 7 of 9. I am alone, but I will adapt.
She believes there's an exterior threat, but it's actually all in her mind. We see these gruesome sights of the crew trying to get out of the stasis units. Like we can see Borg.
A Borg cannot be won. She will die as one. Weak, detached, isolated. One Borg cannot survive.
And Jerry Ryan's acting in this is just spot on. It shows you how terrifying it is when you're all left alone.
Number 9.
Another Star Trek Voyager episode, Season 2, Episode 23, The Thaw. So the Voyager comes across this planet, and it's deserted, but there's some stasis tubes that they come across, but they didn't awake.
Our messenger.
They go into them and find they're in this demented, twisted circus world controlled by this clown who represents fear.
Let's get out of here.
You got it.
So you kind of get this Nightmare on Elm Street vibe from this episode. Unfortunately, it kind of falls a little flat because it looks more cartoonish than scary, but it shows you the fear of dying in your sleep or the inability to control your surroundings. And you get one of the best ending speeches by Captain Janeway in Fear.
Of me.
Like all fear, you eventually vanish.
I'm afraid.
I know.
This end scene is probably one of the best things in Star Trek Voyager.
Number 8.
We got The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 25, Conspiracy. This is more of a creature horror that the Federation, something's going on.
All we ask is that you keep your eyes open.
That's sound advice at any time, Captain. Stay in touch with us. Covertly. This meeting never took place as far as Starfleet is concerned.
You see, one of the ships gets destroyed because of it.
But from the amount of the wreckage... I'm sorry, sir. It can only be the Horatio. From the looks of it, she's been totally destroyed.
And it's all leading to this hostile takeover from these insect rains. And then you see probably one of the most vile and disgusting things put on Star Trek film in the late 80s. I wish they were able to expand on this because this was truly gruesome to watch, especially back then. And it still contains a viewer warning when watching, and certain aspects of this show are not allowed being broadcast in certain areas of the world, showing you how gruesome and terrifying this episode was.
I believe it was a beacon. A beacon? Yes, sir. A homing beacon. Sent from Earth.
Number 7.
You got a DS9, Season 3, Episode 18, Distant Voices. It starts off harmlessly enough. Bashir is kind of down on the dumps because he's getting older.
Well, in many human cultures, the 30th birthday is considered a sort of landmark. It marks the end of youth and the beginning of the slow march into middle age.
But this alien destroys his mind. And you see it rapidly aging Bashir trying to figure out what's going on. Watching every single one of his crewmates get killed.
Doctor.
Another perfect episode to show you the human mind is a terrifying thing, but it's also like a Predator-esque like episode because he's being hunted like prey.
Can't escape, Doctor. You can run if you want to, but you can't outrun death.
Number 6.
So we got The Next Generation, Season 7, Episode 19, Genesis. How would you feel watching the group that you grew up with for 7 years de-evolve and become nothing but animals and primates? You got a great amount of jump scares in here. So between the jump scares and the de-evolution of a crew that we've gotten to know and love is quite terrifying.
Number 5.
We got the Next Generation, Season 6, Episode 5, Schisms. This is not like your typical Star Trek episode. No. This is more like an X-Files alien abduction, and it was done right. We see the crew start to wonder, being tired, and they don't know why. They can't sleep. And they realize that they're being abducted. They're being taken away from their ship and being experimented on.
I've been in this room before. We've all been here before.
Especially Riker, who had his limbs detached and reattached to his body.
Skeletal structure in your radius and ulna is offset by 0.02 microns. Your arm has been amputated and surgically reattached.
What?
And the payoff at the end to see these creatures. And the haunting message that Riker gives at the end of this episode, it will send a shiver down your spine.
Vincent Rager and I were lucky to have escaped. Lieutenant Hagler's dead. Whoever it was sent that thing was more than simply curious.
Number 4.
We got Voyager Season 6, Episode 25, The Haunting of Deck 12. Or, how do you scare Borg? By giving them a gruesome, ghoulish tale when the power goes out.
Tom could engage the engines. We were hit.
What was it? The ghost?
Shh.
Let him finish.
Whatever it was, it shook the ship hard.
And it's a fight for survival. Voyager comes across and accidentally destroys a being's home, and it's out for revenge, trying to kill everyone of the crew.
Medical emergency. Can we transport it?
Transporters are offline.
Well, I'm not surprised. Now what?
Warning. Oxygen depletion in progress.
Breathable air is being sucked out of the bridge.
And it took the heroism of Captain Janeway at the last possible second to survive.
Captain Janeway reports to engineering.
I told you! The only way I'm helping is if you return control of my ship!
And it's made its home on Voyager.
Number 3.
We got TNG, Season 4, Episode 17, Night Terrors. This was voted by the fans as the most terrifying episode of the Next Generation. And it's so believable. Another mind episode. It shows you what happens when you don't sleep.
Made after they'd been adrift for over 3 weeks.
First Officer Brink and his men were behind it. They got to the engines. They don't work anymore.
You become an insomniac. You lose control. You lose every essence of being a human. And it's terrifying. You see them turning against each other, trapped in a cage, unknowing what to do. You have Worf thinking of committing suicide.
Wolf, no!
You have probably one of the scariest moments in Next Generation filmed in that episode, when Beverly Crusher is surrounded by bodies of the crew of the Britannia. And you see slowly and surely them losing their minds, losing grip on reality, losing their sense of humanity.
Someone's still here. What did you say, Ensign? Can't you hear it? Someone's still alive on the ship.
Truly a night terror of an episode. So what could be worse than that? The scariest episode voted by the fans of The Next Generation. Well, there's 2 more.
Number 2.
You got Deep Space Nine, Season 5, Episode 24, Impact Noir. It's essentially a hybrid of Aliens and Halloween. Chief Miles O'Brien and some crew members stuck on Impact Noir to help get some supplies for DS9 while they're getting hunted by Cardassians. Killed off one by one. You got some amazing shots done in this episode to ramp up the terror. Some great jump scares. And feeling, will they be able to get out? And then having one of their own, Garrick, turn on them and try to finish the job what the Cardassians were doing and kill them.
It's a shame. And the worst part of it is, this isn't a coil spanner. It's a flux coupler.
Truly a terrifying aspect, being left alone. But that episode was just pure terror. So, what's number 1? It's not Impact Noir. It's not Night Terrors. It's not Schism.
Number 1.
It's Star Trek Enterprise, Season 3, Episode 5, Impulse. And I can sum it up in 2 words. Zombie Vulcans. Yes, they took the aspects of the other episodes of losing your mind, the horrors of being attacked, jump scares. The setting, the cinematography, everything combined into this, probably, in my opinion, the most terrifying episode of Star Trek ever made. You got the Vulcans, who are normally peace-loving and emotionally stable, lose their mind, trying to kill the crew of the Enterprise. And then you see T'Pol turn on them, and she starts to feel the effects, just like how Garrick did in Impact Noir. And the cinematography, like I said, it was filmed like a horror movie with the strobe lights, the atmosphere. It was just a culmination of everything right, and they put it on film. They put it in a Star Trek episode. I dare you, watch this episode with the lights down. Have nothing but the creaks of the house, and you'll be terrified beyond belief. So that's my list. There are many other episodes I could have brought up. I could have brought up Wolf in the Fold. I could have brought up some episodes in Discovery. Discovery's terrifying for a different reason, and the most terrifying thing is that they got signed for a season 4. I could have done other Voyager episodes, like Scorpion. But to me, these are the most terrifying episodes of Star Trek. I want to hear what you guys think. Leave your list in the comments, or hell, even make your own top 10 video, and let's see. Let's have a discussion, people. So, for your Commodore, Ty Coles, live long and prosper. And don't forget to have a happy Halloween. The hailing frequencies are now closed.
Thank you for watching the video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch one of my other videos, and if you can show your support by donating to my PayPal.
So, for Commodore Ty, live long and prosper, and until next time, the hailing frequencies are closed.